Namaste. Hello, I am Dr. Narinder Gupta. I welcome you all to my homeopathic channel, Homeopathy and Light. Today I am going to describe a remedy, metal, alumina. So I have already described this medicine in Hindi language. So that was uploaded in my Hindi channel, Homeopathy, Enlightened Homeopathy by Dr. Narinder Gupta. You can also subscribe that channel. Though you may not be knowing Hindi, even then subscription might help the audience in one or the other way. So alumina is a person who before falling sick means when he becomes ready to come to the doctor for the treatment, feels himself to be a very great personality. This is very important. The rubric, whatever I describe here in the videos, I learned from the rubrics in the repertory, description given by various authors in different books, Materia Medicas, and my clinical experiences. So I combine all the things and make whatever is possible, whatever I have understood to make this video. So he feels himself a great personality. The rubric in the repertory is given as delusion, great person is A. So this feeling of alumina is further corroborated by many rubrics present in our Materia Medica. Some of them are, I am just reading it for you: ardent, audacious, barking like a dog, contemptuous, defiant, delusion, enlarged body is parts of body, especially neck. Delusion, large parts of body seems too large. Obstinate, headstrong, resist wishes of others. Expensive, too demonstrative. Growling like a dog, grumbling, haughty, jesting, trifles with everything, meddlesome, importunate, recognizing, not recognize Dutch relatives his, striking, desire, strike to, violent, vivacious. So these are few rubrics by which you can understand that alumina patient is feeling himself great, not the patient but alumina personality. So this kind of personality who feels himself great or later on is liable to be converted into alumina patient. So we shall try to understand some of the rubrics given above, because all the rubrics cannot be explained. Some of them are self-explanatory, some of them are just are given in relation to the other rubrics. So few important rubrics need some kind of subtle explanation. So I am just going to explain few of them which I suppose are very, very important to discuss. The first one is the major one. Delusion, great person is A. Means he feels that he is a great person. So to understand each rubric at its subtlest level, what is the procedure I adopt? So we should understand the subtle meaning of each word used in a particular rubric. Just like in this rubric there are words delusion, great, person, is A. So we should try to evaluate the meaning of each word. A is great, etc. Even those simple words, appearing simple words, we are supposed to analyze them. Only then we will be able to understand the in-depth meaning of particular rubric. Once you understand the meaning of particular rubric in depth, then gradually you will start understanding the personality of the drug. Because this rubric cannot be explained in isolation, it has to be corroborated with the other rubrics, that those are given in the description of that particular remedy. So we can take the help of repertory. So that is the best way. Instead of going to the Materia Medica, we should first go to the repertory and try to analyze these rubrics with the help of repertory. And also you can read Materia Medica, because in Materia Medica few authors have described those rubrics in their own language. So you can get a gist, a slight hint out of these Materia Medica that what is the nature of this remedy. But you know, please do not get biased with the description given by those authors, so-called great authors. So great authors can also commit mistakes. So just go through all the literature, get a picture out of it, some feel of the medicine, and then independently you analyze each and every rubric. If it fits into the explanation given by those authors, then only you accept. Otherwise, whatever explanation you feel is worth or is correct, then you depend on your own explanation, then you will grow. So who is a great person? Person means an individual, not a group. So any person having unusual high abilities, qualities, strength, popularities, etc. means he must have some kind of extra things which average person do not have. So only then he can be called as a great person. So he feels himself above and much more capable than others. Delusion means delusion and large body is parts of body. Another rubric is delusion, large parts of body seems too large. Too large means larger than whatever is required. Having parts enlarged is not a physical sensation, but it is at a very subtle level, because these rubrics are given in mind section, and that too under the heading of delusion. So for this particular person, the parts are large, even too large. Large is quite okay, but too large means larger than what they are supposed to be needed for a normal person. So once these organs are large, so it means he has got some extra powers which other people do not have. So this is the feeling. When you are above others, obviously you will not treat and have a great sense that you are above others, then obviously your behavior will be guided by this feeling. So all other rubrics given in the description of Illumina will be just a description of this feeling. Generally, while understanding a rubric in the repertory, we take its gross meaning, then convert it into its metaphorical sense. This is because we consider a human being at its gross level only, whereas a human being is a harmonious orchestra of 360 millions of different kind of energies. This is given in our all religious scriptures. So 350 millions of different kind of energies working in harmony with each other. So all the sensations, capabilities and reaction of a human beings are the outcome of the functioning of these energies. So 350 million kinds of energy make a human body. So to understand a rubric, we should consider every word of the rubric at its subtlest level, meaning as if it is an echo indicating a kind of energy. For example, urine, cough, respiration, sweat, perspiration, sleep, awakening, etc. There are so many words used in the mind section of the repertory, should not only be understood at their gross material level, but these words should also be understood as the sense conveyed by them at their subtlest level. So if we consider a human being as a living, harmonious conglomeration of different energies controlled by super spiritual energy. What is that super spiritual energy? Dr. Henneman called it as a vital force. So super spiritual energy, then it becomes very easy to understand different rubrics at their subtlest level. So this understanding is essential as we use highly potentized medicine, which are nothing but the energies. So they are nothing but energy at a very subtle level. Both become similimum to each other only at a very subtle level. So gross meaning will not help us. So whenever we prescribe a remedy by taking gross meaning of the rubric, just like sleep after urination, so this will not work. We have several times have the experience, but if you take the subtle meaning of urination and subtle meaning of sleep, only then a different kind of feeling will arise. And if you base your prescription on that feeling, then it will act. So we have got the proof several times in our clinic. The sense conveyed by these rubrics is that all the capacities for which these organs are used are much above than what an average human being possesses. So this Illumina patient feels that he has got certain extra powers with him, so he is great. As we sometimes use the proverb, the large hands of the law or large arm of the law. Hands are or arms are parts of the body that are used to catch hold of something. The proverb carries the sense that the law enforcing agencies have great powers, so no criminal can escape from them. He will ultimately one day be caught by those agencies, indicating the long hands or long arms of the law. So this is the subtle meaning of long arms of the law. Though the law is not a human being and does not have hand in literal sense, so it is again we are using metaphorical meaning of the word long arms of the law. But if you see at their gross level, it means the law has got arms and those are very large. So it is not like that. In our day-to-day life, we use metaphorical meaning of all the words, and also we understand the meaning of every word. But when it comes to the language of the patient, then we want to be able to understand the what the patient wants to say at its subtle level. Then we take the gross meaning and ultimately we fail in our prescription. So beforehand means when the patient comes, before the patient comes, you study the repertory and Mathematica with an intention to go deeper at the subtle level, metaphorical level of the each word used in the rubrics of that particular remedy. So here, though the law is not a human being and does not have hands in literal sense of the word, but these are just a organization. Similarly, we can apply the same sense of these rubrics of Illumina, those which are given above. So this is a universal rule and can be applied to all the rubrics of every remedy. Means we have to take the metaphorical meaning of each and every word. This can be applied or should be applied to each remedy. When we say that all the body parts of an Illumina patient are enlarged, it means if his hands are enlarged, this means that he has more powers, because hand represent powers, arm represent powers, meaning that he can work better than others. If his eyes are enlarged, it means bigger than the normal. It means he can see those qualities, negative qualities and also the positive qualities in a person, even though that person wants to hide them, or he is able to see these qualities. It means no one can hide anything from the eyes of Illumina patient. This he himself feels. It may or may not be true. So which usually a normal person cannot observe, that is, nothing can escape the vision of Illumina personality. If he has a long nose, it means he can smell all the conspiracies going on around him. This is the meaning having long nose. And another meaning is long nose means he has got more ego, more prestige in him, a sense of ego and sense of prestige in him. So this is another subtle meaning of having long nose. If he has long ears, it means he can hear even those talks which other people do not want him to know. Means he can sense the conspiracies going on against everything. So possession of all enlarged body parts make him a person of very high capacity than any other human being. So as he considers himself to be a great person, as described above because of certain qualities, his behavior towards other human beings is governed by this feeling. So he does not behave appropriately with them in a civilized way. He treats them with contempt. He feels what harm these minor diseases can do to me. So there is no need to bother about such simple diseases. I am much more powers than the disease power. So disease powers or diseases cannot overcome me. So he does not give any importance to anyone whom he considers less powerful and just blows off even the most serious matter. Means matter that need his immediate and deep attention. He just do not pay any heed to those things also. Means the rubric is trifles with everything. So this rubric means he considers even the most important matter as not of much importance and so does not pay any heed to it. This he does only by thinking himself to be a great person. So what harm can these matters bring him? It can be solved within seconds by me if I wish to do so. So he can at any time handle these with ease. He is much above all the powers that these matters involve. Another rubric is barking like a dog. So he barks over everyone like a dog, means Illumina patient. This means that he does not give much importance to anyone. Rather, he feels it is his right to say all kind of wrong or insulting things to everyone because he is a great person and others are lower than him, so he has every right. So he can scold them, scorn them, or even treat them contemptuously. So he keep on saying all kind of dirty things to everyone. Another rubric is growling like a dog. So growl is a low threatening sound or angry complaint, meaning जैसे for example he growl out his answer. So an Illumina patient takes them for granted, means other human beings or other diseases or other powers. So scolding, threatening and showing his temper on others, thinking himself superior than others. So this is behavior amounts to the rubric barking like a dog. So if he says something, people do not pay any heed to it. So they say simply he is barking like a dog. So there is no need to worry about him. Or in anger also they can say. So when a person barks like a dog over other people, so other people do not pay much heed to it. So they think he is an idiot and just keep on barking like a dog. What does he think about himself? Another rubric is defiant. He is defiant mean he does not believe in obeying the authorities because he is a great, so how the authorities can order him? So the force he is supposed to obey means authorities or to behave according to their wishes. Example, a servant openly disobeys his master, not accepting the domination of his master. Though he is a servant, but he thinks in reality he is not a servant. He has got more power, more understanding than his master is having. So whatever master says to him, he thinks, oh, he's okay. I will do myself according to my own thinking. So my master has nothing, no intelligence. So he behaves according to his own wishes, ignoring his master's order. So obviously this is going to irritate the master. Similarly, in metaphorical or at a subtle level, a defiant person does not yield to the overpowering diseases or circumstances or people, etc., he wants to throw them away and wants to live according to his own will and wish. For example, oh, I will not live like this, means under domination of anyone. I cannot live. So this disease can't take me over, meaning whatever disease is suffering from, he feels that this disease cannot do anything with me. I will not mold my lifestyle according to the disease, but I will take treatment and will cure the disease. I will get this disease cured or this problem resolved at any cost. These problems cannot overpower me because I am greater than these diseases or these overpowering things. So motto of Illumina is no one can overpower me. He may not be overpowering others, but he does not like that others should overpower him, and he feels that no one has the strength to overpower him, neither human beings nor the circumstances. So it means no one can overpower me means I will live as I wish. So this defiant nature is an indicative of him thinking himself to be a great or powerful person, one who does not want to be dominated. Another rubric is grumbling. So all these rubrics are just reflecting his one feeling that he is great. So grumbling is to complain in bad tempered way, meaning to keep saying that you do not like something. Example, the students were always grumbling about the standard of food served to them in their hostel, but they do not have any courage to complain directly to the hostel authorities. So a grumbling person always keep on muttering something but does not complain it to the authorities as he does not have that much courage. But at the same time, he does not accept the situation as it is. So this is a sign of considering oneself to be someone great but not all powerful. So greater person does not mean he is all powerful. So we can say that an Illumina person does not accept the domination but at the same time also lacks courage. So this is the stage that he develops when he faces some kind of domination that he finds difficult to overthrow it. Meaning this is the beginning of breaking down of a Illumina personality into Illumina patient. So by above description you can see how an Illumina personality, strong personality during healthy state start becoming a Illumina patient. Means he start gradually turning into a sick person. Another rubric is haughty. Arrogant, full of ego, proud and thinking himself to be better than others. This is sense conveyed by the word haughty. So even when he realizes that he is working, even when he realizes that he is wrong at this particular point, he will not accept it, but will try to prove his point of view right by all kind of wrong methods because he knows that he is wrong. But still he does not accept that he is wrong, because if he accepts that he is wrong, proves that he is lower than the others. So to keep himself proving at a higher level than the others, he will not accept his mistakes. So this kind of behavior again shows that he considers himself better than others, so does not want to succumb to any dominating force. There is another rubric, expansive to demonstrative. Expansive means this word is used about a person or his behavior when he possesses a behavior of talking a lot in an interesting way or in a friendly way. This is the meaning of word expansive. Demonstrative, a person showing especially loving feeling in front of others, practically showing, not just keeping loving feeling in his heart. Two, T-O-O, two. More than enough. or more than what is required at that particular time or situation. So this much demonstration is required, but he makes demonstrative manifolds. So Alumina is a person who exhibit his loving feeling or his entire attitude in front of others without any hesitation. This needs a very courageous attitude. So in the beginning, Alumina is courageous, very bold. So this can only happen if he is not afraid of others. Another rubric is meddlesome. So weak people do not meddle with the problems of others, they might be beaten up. So a person who thinks himself strong can only meddle with the problems of other people. So meddlesome, a person who takes too much interest in the other's private affairs without having any authority or need to do so. So just he goes and push his leg into their matters. Another rubric is importunate. Troublesome or annoying, persistent in solicitations. Example, he is an importunate beggar means he is an importunate creditor or visitor, etc. So these two words, meddlesome and importunate, show that he pokes his nose or pushes his leg into everyone's affair, whether he has any right to do so or not. So this again shows his feeling of considering himself above others. Other rubrics like striking, desire to strike, violent, etc. also indicate that he considers himself much more powerful than others. A weak person will not strike, otherwise he will be beaten up. So a person who thinks that if I strike someone, so there are no chances that others will also strike back. So this shows that he feels himself great. Another rubric is vivacious. Vivacious means full of life. So life indicates movement, joyous nature. So he enjoys everything because he is courageous and ready to face any kind of adversities. So he enjoys life in his own ways. So all these feelings like powerful, vivacious and considering himself great remain in him till he come across face to face with a much more powerful force in the form of disease that does not yield to any kind of treatment. So it means disease is much more powerful than him. So then all his ego just melts down. So a very dominating husband, a father, a boyfriend, fiance or boss or any other situation that he cannot overcome even by applying all his might. So this is the beginning of problems of Alumina personality. Then he turns into Alumina patient. So these four start dominating him and he start putting all his energy to overcome that force. During this tussle means disease or situation is trying to overpower him and this Alumina patient is trying to fight it back. So this tussle he gradually breaks down because other party is much more powerful, either some person or some situation or some disease which is trying to take him over. And all other rubrics are just the manifestation of this journey from a dominator or a free person to a highly dominated person and the reaction he develops during this journey. So all other rubrics are just indicative of this feeling. So if you study remedies in this way, the ultimate description of remedy will come to 2, 3 rubrics, 4, 5 rubrics. So in very short explanation, you can understand the whole pure, complete picture of that particular remedy and then can easily apply in your clinic under all circumstances, under all kind of diseases, in every person of every age, from a small kid to an elderly old age person, anyone. We can see how his ailments begin. There are few rubrics that indicate how the complaints of alumina patient begin. What are the triggering factors in him? Ailments from anger, vexations with anxiety. Ailment from anger, silent grief with. Ailments from abused after being abused. Ailments from bad news. Ailment from disappointments. Ailment from humiliation. Ailment from mortification. Ailment from rejection. Ailment from scorned being, and ailment from sexual excesses. So all these rubrics indicate that he is being dominated by others in some or the other way. If go into detailed probing of these causes of these ailments, we again come across the same basic feeling as described above, that he is being dominated by now some dominating force. So means he cannot fight back the dominating force that causes ailments of alumina patient. So none of the cause of his ailment is a prescribing symptom, but they give a hint to alumina's basic personality. So we cannot prescribe alumina on these causes, though it seems that causes are important, but no, because in repertory against these rubrics, so many other medicines are given. So you have to match the cause with the total personality of the remedy. Only then you can prescribe it safely. So these causes of ailments of alumina patient are not prescribing symptoms. So a person who develops ailments after anger is not a person who feels himself a very powerful person, because a powerful person never becomes anxious and grief-ridden, because he is very confident of facing any kind of consequences. So a weak person after getting angry feels that now what will happen? I have just become angry to him, he might beat me. So then this causes a kind of nervousness, anxiety, something unacceptable things. This feeling of weakness gives rise to the sense of anxiety in him after anger. So a person who thinks himself very low does not show his temper. For example, a servant who thoroughly considers himself a servant, means who accepts that he is a servant and he is like a servant, or he will behave like a servant. So does not develop any kind of anger towards his master. If he is a servant by chance, by circumstances, or circumstances has made to work or act like a servant, then the feeling will be different. If he is a servant who is at a low dominated position, then under certain kind of adverse conditions, he does not accept his servanthood and bears a grudge against his master. He always grumbles but will keep a check on his temper, because he knows that he is now under these circumstances, I am a servant, so I have less power and my master can anytime punish me or throw me out. So he will keep a check on his temper. So but there is always a limit to keep one's anger under control. So sometimes he may involuntarily show his temper, and after this he becomes anxious as to what would be the consequences. He may lose his job, or he may have to face some kind of loss, or if the consequences turn out to be bad, then he may suffer from silent grief. Similarly, the next cause of development of his ailment is being abused, means ailments from being abused. A servant means a person who has thoroughly accepted his low status. It may be a housewife, a clerk, anyone. He may be even a big officer who feels that it is the right of politicians to use him in any way and does not feel that he is being abused. So it is the reaction only. But any person who thinks himself something great, or as someone of having high self-esteem, feels bad on being insulted or abused and may develop various problems if he is not able to retaliate the dominating force, means the master. Similar is the case with other cause like humiliation, mortification, rejection, scorn, or sexual access, etc. So what is scorn? It is the feeling of not being considered worthy of anything. So he is not given any responsibility. A person who is being scorned is an object of ridicule. People just laugh at him, considering him a worthless, useless fellow, good for nothing. So, but Illumina patient himself, great person. So, how can he bear that someone scorn him? So, it will hurt him and will give some kind of ailment to him. So, an Illumina patient consider himself to be a person of great qualities. So, he cannot bear that people consider him nothing, and that they do not give him any importance. This hurts him, and he start developing a grudge against these people. This long lasting grudge make him sick. So the cause of all the ailments of Illumina patient is just one feeling that he is a great person. Suppose he does not feel great person, so he will accept all kind of dominations and won't fall sick. So our strong reactions make us sick. Acceptance makes her happy. Similarly, in a case when he is rejected by others, rejected means not being considered worth of that particular job he is supposed to do. So this is not accepted by him easily, and so he develops various ailments. Ailment is a minor disease or minor discomfort or a feeling that makes someone feel little bit disturbed in his mind. Ailment from disappointment. Disappointment, what is a disappointment? It is a feeling of experiencing himself low, sad, depressed, hopelessness, or not getting something that was seriously expected, or not getting something from someone. For example, a person made a lot of effort to pass an examination, but he was declared unsuccessful while he was sure of his success. So this may give a feeling of disappointment. So means whatever he was expecting, he doesn't get it. So this is a cause of feeling of disappointment. Repeated sincere effort make him disappointed over the result. Another rubric is humiliating. So what is humiliate? To put somebody or to shame or to put somebody to shame or to degrade someone's prestige. Example, he felt humiliated by her scornful remarks. Example, I felt very humiliated when the teacher laughed at my work. Unless one has self-esteem, he will not feel either mortified or humiliated. So we can say all the cause of ailments for Illumina patient are those which make him feel that he is not considered a person of very high worth, means no one considered him as a great person. So this is the real cause of Illumina patient diseases. So before coming across a dominating force, he is very ardent, meaning he does everything with great zeal and achieves his targets without bothering about anyone. He wants to excel in his present position in every field because he is ambitious. To fulfill this ambition, he even makes audacious moves. So what are audacious moves? Audacious. Audacious behavior is the behavior in which one takes risk in order to achieve something. This he does because he is absolutely sure about himself. This kind of move is not approved by the society. So society consider himself as a fool. So they consider his move as foolish boldness. An audacious move is marked by originality, means he has got his original ideas, only then he can move further. Marked by originality and verve. So an audacious person does not show any regard for law, religion, or decorum or customary traditions, etc. He goes by his own convictions. Example, He is an audacious chef who makes dishes that are not usually cooked or liked by the customer. But to show his extraordinary skills, he prepares such dishes even at the risk of losing his customers. For example, another example of audacious, he has an audacious view of the future. Another example, a two-wheeler manufacturer developed and launched a moped that runs on solar energy during the era when all the vehicles run on petrol only. So this was his audacious moves, because everyone considered that this moped he is manufacturing will be a great failure and ultimately he has to suffer a great loss, because no one likes the bikes who run on solar energy, because this is the era of petrol. Ultimately, audacious people succeed in their endeavors because they are of very sharp mind, have a great courage to do things, great courage to take risk, and so they are ultimately successful people. So Illumina in the healthy state considers other people too lower than him. Following rubrics show these feelings: delusion, vermin, seeing vermin crawl about. Delusion, worms, creeping of worms. These two rubrics shows that Illumina patient think self, everyone, human beings as well as diseases, circumstances, etc. worth nothing, like vermins only. So vermin means a vermin is an offensive person, objectionable or obnoxious person. He is regarded as harmful to others or dangerous to the society. Example, he says that football hooligans are just like vermin. A small, common or harmful or objectionable animal that is difficult to control. Example, lice, fleas, bedbugs, mice, rats, etc. So they can be easily killed. Worm is a person having very weak or nasty character is called worm. So people have no respect for such people. Example, you are not a worm, but you are a man, so get up and fight the odd situation. So worms and vermin are of a very low level and has no strength. Man can easily overpower them. So Illumina consider that other people are like worms, means extremely at a low level, are at a level extremely lower than his own level. So he can easily overpower everyone. So he doesn't pay any regard to those people, or he may abuse them. So vermin and worms are also considered as harmful creatures that are very much below human standard and the society shows no respect for them as they have no strength. Example, the big businessman thundered to people dwelling in hut clusters that you are nothing but like vermin and worms in front of me. I will just destroy you in a second. Considering other people or diseases or situation as powerless, small, insignificant like worms and vermin shows his mentality, how great and powerful he consider himself. This is not like Platina. Platina is absolutely different than Illumina. So all these feelings last till he comes face to face with some powerful dominating force. He then tries to neutralize the domination of that force, so he becomes defiant, tries to openly and boldly oppose that force. Means this dominating force could be anything like an adverse situation, an incurable and incapacitating disease, a dominating husband, or a very strict boss, a dominating mother, father, boyfriend, fiance, etc., etc., etc. But is not able to overcome that domination. In this continued situation, he starts breaking down under that constant stress of being dominated. So then a very relevant question arises, then how does Illumina patient resist that domination? He gathers courage to openly oppose and refuse to accept the domination, but when the other party threatens him or reprimands him or shows some kind of harm that can be done to him or her, he just gets frightened and withdraws his step. For example, an employee who is fed up of living under constant domination of his master, where he is not able to freely express himself, gathers courage and start thinking of opposing his employer. But when he thinks about the possibility of losing his job because of this kind of behavior on his part, he gets fearful and withdraws his step, means leaves the idea of opposing his master. So he does not become silent within. So, but there remains always an itch in his mind to repeat this act, means to again try to oppose the domination of his boss. So the courage and fear alternates. In another case, a person is having severe pain in his knee. Let's take the example in a practical sense from the clinic. In another case, a person is having severe pain in his knees and he is not capable of walking, means the pain is dominating him so much that he has to restrict his movement, as the pain doesn't allow him to do whatever he tries to or wants to do. So he is not happy with the situation, means this painful situation, and gathers courage to move about, means he wants to overcome the feeling of pain, that pain cannot restrict my movements. But as the pain increases on walking, on moving, the dominating force increases its power. He fears that some part of his knee may get damaged or permanently. So this is courageous alternating with fear. And another very important rubric is fear apoplexy of. So he repeats the same action again and again, means he again and again tries to move even during the painful stage. So he repeats the same action again and again, as he is not willing to accept the domination, means he is not willing to remain at rest because of the pain. So he keeps on trying to move in spite of pain. But pain is more powerful than him. So he is forced to sit down because he fears that if I move in this painful stage, I might get a permanent injury to my knees and ultimately I may have to lose all the capacity of moving. So he stops moving. So this amount to courage and alternating with fear. So by doing this, means moving, his courage gradually diminishes and he becomes discouraged. Even then, he boosts up his confidence to fight the domination. So it is not easy that Illumina patient loses courage. He keeps on attempting again and again, and being defeated by the dominating force, means pain, situation, boss, etc. Then gradually he loses his strength. Then he can overcome it. The rubric is discouraged alternating with courage. So gradually he becomes timid, meaning he agitates to face the situation. How can I do it? I don't have any courage to do it. Yet he is not ready to give up. He tries to assure himself that he can do it by telling himself that he has boldly and successfully faced so many adversities in the past and that now he can face this adversity also. So now again he boosts himself up. So this rubric is timidity alternating with assurance. So he assures himself, no, there is nothing to lose courage. Just get up and face the domination. Get up and move. And by his own assurance, he again takes the action, but again fails. So ultimately, he gets discouraged. But when he does not succeed in his endeavors, he becomes frustrated, means discontented, and start developing various kind of delusions about his own personality. Now he has come to face with the reality. So rubrics are delusion, double being, Delusion head belongs to another. Delusion identity, errors of personal identity. Delusion outside his body, someone else saw or spoke. Delusion say something, it seems to him as though somebody else has said it when he. Delusion sees something when he, someone else eye seems as though he saw through. Delusion talking, someone is talking, he is speaking when. Delusion come when he is forced to behave and act according to the wishes of other dominating force. Then only these rubrics come up. For example, a housewife having an extremely dominating husband and she wants to lead a moral and honest life. So when her husband is not around with her, she behaves in that means a moral and honest way. But when she is in the company of her husband, she has to behave according to the wishes of her husband. She has to tell a lie as per husband wish. Tell a visitor at the door that her husband is not at home, though he is there. This wife doesn't like, but she has to go and tell the visitor that her husband is not at home. So mean he is not speaking. She feels that she is speaking with husband's tongue. So similarly, in majority of the situations, she cannot execute her own wishes but is forced to behave otherwise, and she does not like this. She feels as if she is not a wife but a slave of her husband, or her husband is her boss. So this way she feels as if she has a double personality. One is of wife and the other is of a servant or an employee. Another rubric is delusion, double being. So under different situations, different people who are forced to behave opposite to their nature may develop such kind of delusions. Delusion head belongs to another. So what is head represent? Head, it is an organ that has brain in it and is used for thinking or taking all kind of decisions. One takes decision according to the prevailing circumstances. When an alumina patient is forced to take a decision as per the wishes of other dominating forces, his head is not her own, but as if it belongs to some other person, because his head has to make decision as per the wishes of someone else. So this is the explanation of rubric head belongs to another. So this leads to error of personal identity. Am I a wife, a servant, or just a machine, or just a maid? Who am I? So because she has to behave against her natural instinct means delusion, identity, errors of personality identity. All other rubrics described above in this group just indicate this feeling as if she does not have her own personality. Her head thinks according to the wishes of others, mostly according to the wishes of husband. Her eyes see that others wish her to see. Means in a situation in which she sees that people are not behaving properly, or the film she has been watching is not good, decoration of a particular place is of good aesthetic nature, so on and so forth. So she wants to express her feelings, but under those circumstances, she is forced to say or express what the others dominating force want her to express, as if she has no personality of her own. Means if suppose she is feeling that decoration of this place is very good and want to praise the honor, but her husband says no, don't say good, you say what kind of dirty decoration you have done. Is it decoration? So then she is forced to say that this is not a good decoration. So it means she has to speak whatever her husband wants her to speak. So this means as if she has got no personality of her own. So this prolonged, so then she feels nothing is real she is a wife but has to behave like a slave, or she says in reality she is not a wife but only the namesake she is a wife. Delusion, unreal, everything seems unreal. So now we can see all the rubrics I am gradually describing are just the offshoot of one rubric, that delusion, he is a great person. So once you know that he is feeling a great person, you can automatically think according to your own intelligence that what kind of behavior the person will have, that you can easily expect. If you see that kind of behavior on, then you can easily know that this is the patient of that particular remedy. So this prolonged domination, in spite of all our effort to remove it or get rid of it, gives her a feeling that this dominating force is going to remain like a disease with her forever. There is no cure for it. The rubric is delusion, disease has incurable, delusion, wedding of it. So her dominating force, as it is disturbing her, can be equated with the disease. What is wedding? Wedding means wedding is an act of harmonious blending or association. Example, this song has perfect wedding of words and music. So perfect mixing is wedding. Means it just get merged with one another. You cannot separate them. You cannot identify them separately. But their existence is like as if both of them become one, just like words and music has become one. So there is no meaning of the word without the music, or music has got no meaning without the word. So they are wedded to one another. Similarly, Illumina patient feels that now this disease has become part of it. So his personality is known only with the name of the disease. So there is a complete blending of his personality and the disease, as if she has got no existence without the disease. So if two things are wedded to each other, they are so closely connected to each other that they cannot be considered separate. For example, the authorities remain firmly wedded to the doctrinal orthodoxies which many rejected generations ago. Another one, to attach firmly and bind by close or lasting ties. Then I already said that we have to understand the meaning of each word, like A for apple. A means, so this word qualifies the subject to which it is attached or associated with. This is not just a number. This is not one, but it is A. So A is different and one is different, though in literal sense A and one means one. Here the delusion of a wedding means the person is not bonded by other things, but not bonded with all the things, but he or she is bonded with one thing, works, person, etc. So she is free otherwise, but there is one force, the dominating force, that forces her to act in a particular way as per its wishes, to which she is closely bonded. She cannot separate herself away from that force. So this is going to last forever or for a very long time. Normally the word wedding is used for a husband and a wife. She feels now that her husband and she has become one and inseparable. So she has to bear the domination of her husband all through his life. So she is wedded to this. So this is normal meaning, very gross meaning of the rubric of the word wedding. But if you take subtle meaning, means because patient never speaks of this wedding, but speaks of his own disease, etc. So let's example with respect to the disease. So for example, the disease has been a part of my body, means I cannot do anything as per my wish. I want to move freely, but I cannot due to the pain in my knee joint. I have to mold all my activities according to the disease or the circumstances, as if I am wedded to this disease, means disease and me cannot be separated. or disease cannot be removed from me, though I am free to do all other things which are not related to the disease. So this is the meaning of word a wedding, not just wedding. So this fever has become a part of my body. I don't feel it till it rises very high. I just feel a saltish feeling in my eyes when the fever begins. Cross references of wedding is marriage. Marriage is a happy, lasting union of two things. But wedding is not happy. Wedding is just mixing or completely blending of two things. So marriage is living together happily is a marry. Marry, the word has come from the word marry. So all this constant marry plus age is marriage means a life full of being married is marriage. So all this constant domination and efforts to remove it takes away his energy. He starts losing his mental faculties. Earlier his mind would be very sharp, but now we can see how she or he is or Illumina patient is losing his strength. Concentration difficult studying, mathematics inability for calculating, mathematics inability for geometry, mathematics inability for algebra, memory weakness of memory for proper names, memory weakness of memory thought for what he just has thought, memory weakness of memory for words, mistakes making speaking in, mistakes making speaking in, intend what he does not intend, mistakes making speaking in words, misplacing words, mistake making speaking in words, wrong words using, mistakes making time in, mistakes making writing in. So all these developing deficiencies give rise to a fear of insanity. From a dominating personality, now he is gradually going down and have started feeling that one day he will become insane or will lose all his or her powers and ultimately have to live under the domination of disease or a dominating force, maybe anyone. So this feeling is like death to him, that he will be dominated. Because earlier he was very intelligent, ardent, fastidious, courageous, audacious, contemptuous, laughing and vivacious, but now he has become so weak that he cannot manifest his real personality. So this is a painful situation to him. So living under such bad circumstances, under such great domination is like a death to him. It is a very painful situation. The rubric is death, agony before death. So he is not able to bear this situation where he cannot express his real personality. And the idea to commit suicide comes to his mind many times, but still he has not given up. He has not accepted the defeat. So he does not want to commit suicide, so he wants to remove this idea from his mind, though idea always comes. So rubric are fear impulses of his own. Blood cannot look at blood. Knife cannot look at knife. Frighten easily blood at the sight of blood. Hypochondriasis, suicide driving to. Injuring himself, fear to be left alone lest he should injure himself. Sadness, suicidal disposition with. Suicidal disposition, courage but lacks courage. Suicidal disposition, sight of at the knife. She has horrid thoughts of killing herself, though she abhors the idea. Thoughts frightful, seeing blood or knife on. Weary of life, sight of blood or knife at. So these are few of the rubrics indicating his or her frightful state of mind when he has come under long lasting domination, and then there is no hope that this domination will be over and she will one day be a free person. So all above rubrics indicate that he is very much fed up with his life because of the restrictions he has to live under, and this disgusted, anguished, loathsome, tormented, and helpless feeling gives rise to an impulse to kill himself. So these impulses are aggravated on seeing the weapon that can be used for killing, but still he has not lost full control over himself, so he just does not let this idea convert into action, means doesn't commit suicide. Though the intensity of the impulse, the intensity is so severe that he starts fearing his own impulse, that one day he may in reality kill himself, because he doesn't want to kill himself, though many times a very strong impulse comes from within that he should commit suicide, but he doesn't want to commit suicide because of the sufferings and painful situation. She wants to get rid of it by committing suicide, but committing suicide shows that he is a coward, so he abhors the idea that I should never commit suicide. So he does not want to be left alone. He wants company of someone so that this person can prevent him from committing suicide if he develops any such severe impulse. So the grudge and anguished feeling is so severe and dominates in him so much that he just forgets how to smile. Means this idea, this anguished state remains forever in his mind, so he can never smile. He does not feel like smiling at any moment. So the rubric is smiling never. But before he was dominated, he was a jolly person who would laugh at every incident, example, laughing and laughing contemptuous. So these two rubrics are there when he was a healthy person, means he was not facing any kind of domination. So till then, he was having a laughing, joyful attitude. So all kind of dominations gradually reduce his tendency to laugh whenever his mind is free. Free means that he is not conscious of his domination. He would laugh freely and loudly. He is very joyous, vivacious when it's free. So, but as soon as thought of his dominating force comes to his mind, his laughing stops. The rubrics are laughing alternating with spasm, as if he's laughing and suddenly he is forced to stop laughing because the idea that he is being dominated touches his mind and all his joyous nature just vanishes thin air. So suddenly it happens, as soon as idea touches his mind, he stops laughing. So this sudden action is called spasm. Spasm. It is the sudden contraction of muscles. Usually it is painful. So the functioning of that particular muscle is arrested only at that point. So here, yes, she has been laughing. Laughing means was in a joyous mood, but suddenly, as soon as idea of being dominated and permanent domination comes into her mind, suddenly she stops laughing. Means a spasmodic condition his mind comes. So this spasm in the mind, not in the muscle. So we can say suddenly one activity in the mind is stopped at that moment. So other rubrics of Illumina: kill desire to. Kill desire to knife with a knife. Kill desire to knife side of A at the gun or A. This desire to kill is dominating force. Not to kill himself, a desire is generated at the side or gun or knife or any other instrument that can be used to kill, indicates a very strong urge to make himself free of dominating force. So all through the journey we have seen that Illumina patient does not want to be dominated by anything, though circumstances are such that he or she is forced to face the domination. So this is very, very painful to her or him, and always he keeps on attempting to remove this domination, though he is not capable of, and is forced to behave according to the domination. And ultimately, as the fight or struggle goes on, ultimately he or she loses the courage and succumb to the dominating force. Then this resignation means. So this desire in the form of impulse also comes to his mind for himself, but he does not want to kill himself. So he tries to escape from such a situation by being in the company of other people. There are rubrics related to urination. We should always remember that the physical action is not related to the physical body. So we should try to understand the subtle meaning. Subtle meaning means in relation to the mind of these physical actions like cough, urination, sweat, perspiration, chill, heat, menses, etc. in the context of mind means in a subtle way. The rubrics are startled, urinate on beginning to urinate, anxiety, urination before, fear, wet his bed, fear he will. So there are few rubrics connected to the urination. So like every other word, urination too has different meaning under various contexts. So the word urination is not just passing of urine. When our urinary bladder is full of urine, we remain uneasy. Our whole attention remains dominating by this full urinary bladder. So even while performing various activities, our whole attention remains dominated by the urge to urinate. Same is the case in other situations where there is a sense of domination and a strong desire to get rid of that domination. That again, same feeling is there as if urinary bladder is full and you want to get rid of this urine as soon as possible. So it means full urinary bladder is dominating you and you feel uneasy and wants to get rid of it. So similarly, alumina patient always remains uneasy till he remains under the domination of dominating force. So as to urinate, same is the case in other situations where this is a sense of domination and a strong desire to get rid of this domination means make oneself free, to ease oneself. And as soon as we pass urine, we feel such a relaxation. Commonly, we use the phrase, I am going to ease myself and remain free and relaxed till the bladder is again filled up with urine. Now, if we metaphorically try to fit the same feeling to above rubrics, we can explain them as follows. Anxiety, urination before. This is one rubric we are going to explain in metaphoric way. It means that as soon as he decides to get rid of dominating force, he becomes anxious of the consequences, whether he will be able to get his freedom or will his opposition become even worse than what is now. As he is not always sure he would be able to free him. If you see the physical symptom of bladder, it is full and there is a strong urge, means to vacate it, to remove the source of domination, because the urge with a full bladder always dominates one's attention. So to pass urine, but even on very strong straining, either no urine comes or very little urine comes, not relaxing him at all. So this effect can be easily equated with the same general feeling of alumina, meaning he is unable to eliminate or remove the domination as he has no strength left to discard it. This is the cause of his anxiety even before passing urine. So we can see that there is only one feeling always dominate the mind of alumina personality. Startle. Startle is to surprise somebody in a way that's slightly shocking or frightens or disturbs or alarms that person. किसी को चौंका देना थोड़ा सा परेशान करते या डराते हुए आश्चर्य में डाल देना. दिस इज द हिंदी मीनिंग ऑफ वर्ड स्टार्टेड. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, द गन शॉट स्टार्टेड द हॉर्सेस. Another one, he was startled by fevered look of his patient. So he started at the beginning of urination. It means the act of passing urine frightens him. This is indicative of some kind of possible danger to him. The other meaning of startled is to quickly start taking some action just on sensing some danger. So when the bladder is full and he has an urge to urinate means to relax him by removing the domination created by the urge to urinate, and he finds it difficult to evacuate it, meaning to remove the domination and become a relaxed and free bird. This suddenly frightens him of his present state and he has become incapable of removing the dominating force. So metaphorically again, we conclude that whenever he tries to remove the domination force, meaning the disease, a condition, a situation, or some person, etc., etc., these could be dominating force. So dominating force, but find unable to do so, then he gets frightened that what a poor state he is in. So how will he become a liberated person again? So this fright is generated by a deep sense of remaining under domination forever, which alumina patient never likes. There are rubrics: fear, wet his bed, fear he will, incontinence in bed. This is the rubric. So incontinence, what is incontinence? Is a lack of control on natural discharges like urination, evacuation, etc. Lack in moderation or control, especially of the sexual appetite. So to wet the bed means to urinate when in the bed and asleep. So when one is weak, he has full control for a reasonable time period over the actions of urinating and defecation, evacuation, etc. He passes urine and stool only at his wish. Even during sleep, the urge to urinate or evacuate do not take place without one's wish, meaning one has full control over these physiological actions. Even during actions means these urges do not control him, rather he has full control over them. So this is normal process. But when one passes urine during sleep in his bed, it means that there is no control of his will. Will means these actions go at their own will and wish. It indicates that the person is weaker than the natural physiological actions or outer conditions that dominate him. So during sleep, one is not conscious of his surroundings and hence has no control over them. So to have control over surroundings, one has to keep himself awake, meaning to keep his full attention on that particular situation or dominating force. So my skin, this is an example. My skin itches violently. I do not want to scratch it as it causes bleeding, cracks, which are more painful than the itching itself. So I keep my full attention on myself, that unconsciously means during sleep. Unconsciously, I may not lose control over my action and start itching. This fear of scratching or taking away his attention and getting it engaged in something else. Calculating inability for geometry is another rubric. So what is calculating? We should understand. It is the mental act by which a person knows the net effect of one or more activities when someone has done or said something in some context, and to know what would be the possible effect or meaning of such an act or saying is the calculation. Calculation is knowing the total effect of some action. Inability means the person does not have this capacity, means he cannot calculate, nor has the ability to know about the exact outcome of many activities or of any one activity he has carried out. Geometry. So geometry is the branch of mathematics that deals with measurement, properties and relationship for points, lines, angles, surface, solid, etc. etc. So broadly speaking, it is the study of properties of given elements that remain invariant transformations. So in geometry, we assume something, then to try to prove the same statement, meaning the statement is correct or incorrect. Similarly, alumina patient cannot talk in indication or receiving messages given to him with indications. For example, if you tell him that if you do not leave smoking, a dreadful disease might set in. So he doesn't understand what do you want to say. Indirectly, you want to say that if he doesn't quit smoking, one day he will develop the cancer. But you have not said directly that he will develop cancer. You have said you will develop some disease. So he is not able to understand that you are pointing out towards the cancer, that he will develop cancer one day. So an alumina patient, we have to tell him absolutely directly and clear cut that if you don't quit smoking, ultimately you will have cancer. So when he is to communicate to anybody, he will say to the concerned authority in a simple, monotonous tone without mixing it with emotions. Patient will say, I have breast cancer. Do you have any cure to it? No emotion is involved in it. So mathematics inability for algebra and mathematics inability for geometry. So what is algebra? Algebra is a branch of mathematics that deals with general statement of relations utilizing letters and other symbols to represent specific number, values, vectors, etc. on the description of such relations. So algebra is an any spell system of notations adapted to study of a special system of relationship. Metaphorically, it can be said that to talk or represent not saying something directly but saying it in an indirect manner, meaning mentioning about something else, is called an algebraic expression. Not exactly called but maybe equated with the algebraic action. So that is why while talking to someone, he will tell him the plain truth, the truth without any emotion or without making it palatable or acceptable to other person, because he does not have the capacity to mold the wordings. Plain truth, what is plain truth is the truth as it is without molding it, without putting any emotional touch to it. This he does because of his inability to calculate or inept for algebra or geometry. So, but when he is in a good state, means before falling sick, these mental faculties are very sharp. So he can tell the plain truth because he thinks himself to be a great person. So alumina can tell plain truth in both the circumstances, when he was healthy or when he is sick, because when he was healthy he felt himself to be a very strong person, so he can directly say anything on the face of other people. So that is why he made plain truth. But now he is sick and doesn't understand the thing, how to mold the things. So he now again tells the things directly as it is. So he does not give them any importance. This is the reason he tells every truth plainly, because he thinks even by doing so, he will not be harmed by anyone as a great person. He tells the truth without any consideration that how his expression or saying will affect the other persons. Another rubric we take, forsaken feeling, friendless feels. So what is forsaken feeling? It is the feeling of a person will have when he feels that because of his worthlessness, meaning maybe due to old age, chronic sickness, or any kind of deficiency or abnormality in him, So people are just avoiding him. Nobody is there to look after him or to love him. He is just a worthless stuff for everyone now, especially his so-called own people. Now own people consider him worthless, so just they have given him up. Example like his family members, relatives or friends, etc. At this stage, he is in a desperate need for a friend. That is a person. What is a friend? A person who can love and help him in any way without asking much in return. So when he finds someone who shows the same affection to him like a friend, he opens out his heart to him and tells him everything in great detail in an enthusiastic manner. This is done with a hope that to get some help from him so that he can come out of the bad situation he is in. But when he is healthy, meaning he was a strong person, he does not communicate expansively. On the contrary, he would talk to everyone in a contemptuous, scornful, and egotistical manner. He would contemptuously make fun of them. So, rubrics another one is started, fall on hearing anything. On hearing means we have to understand the meaning of rubric by breaking it down and understanding the meaning of each and every word. So first we are understanding the word on hearing. Come to know about something from an unauthentic source. This is hearing without any proof. Anything means any talk, news, small, big, important or unimportant. Anything means it does not have any kind of specific thing attached to it. Fall means suddenly coming down from a higher position to a lower position. Means the complete rubric means that when someone tells him that he knows a person who had been doing very well in life, but now because of the disease, because of the wrong habits, or because of family disputes, or because of timidity, or because of something else, he had to face the domination by others. He had to lose his position and now he is suffering a lot. So this news make him frightened and alarmed. So he start taking some remedial measure so that the same thing may not happen to him too. So this is at a stage when he has come under the domination of some kind of dominating force. Another rubric is objective reasonable. So this is found in him when he is in stronger position, meaning he is ambitious and want to excel in his present status. So to achieve his goal, he ardently works with a definite goal in his mind with his emotions prevailing upon him. So there are so many other rubrics of Illumina given in the repertory, but all other are just the outcome of this state of mind and they all are related to each other in a subtle way. A patient may come to us with any permutation and combination of few or more rubrics. So a reader should try to understand the basic nature of the drug so that he can easily grasp the basic nature of the drug that is hidden within such combination of rubrics. So now you can see just on one point I have given total description of Illumina. Similar description of all other remedies can also be given. So the total remedy which is having 2000 rubrics, 4000 rubrics only in mind section of the repertory can be summarized within 2, 3, 4, 5 rubrics only, and that 4, 5, 6 rubrics are the gist of those remedy, which can call soul of remedy, spirit of remedy, characteristic symptom of remedy, personality of remedy, identifying symptom of remedy. You can name them and anyone, but those feelings are very important, those rubrics are very important. If you understand them clearly, then all other rubrics are just the manifestations or reaction state of those rubrics. So once you understand it, then as soon as you see a patient, so by his body language, by his speaking style, by his dressing sense, even a smallest look at the patient, you will come to know that this patient belongs to that particular remedy. So prescription becomes very short, easy, and absolutely certain, correct. So your prescription become precise. Then you obviously you will get the good results, will cure the patient very much. You do not have to undergo long interrogation with the patient, and ultimately your knowledge and fame will increase. I hope you might be feeling that this kind of description no one else has already given. So whatever is there in the literature, I just go into deeper, and so the scope of medicine increases. So then each and every remedy can be used in any disease, maybe acute to chronic, in any miasm. No need to consider the miasm, no need to ask the modalities, no need to ask the thermal, no need to ask family history, no need to ask his past history, anything you are not to and ask anything. There is no need, because whatever is present condition of the patient or the person is just the outcome of all those situations which already has passed away. So present is more important than going into such details. So, and moreover, whatever patient feels is important for him, he just narrates it first. And if you keep on interrogating, he will keep on telling you something. So, but that will be the outcome of his rational mind. It won't be a spontaneous reaction. So, when one uses the rational mind, you just lose the track of medicine, and prescription will, there are chances that prescription may become wrong. So why not to learn this sure certain method, apply it in your practice. If you succeed, and I am sure that you will succeed, because I also follow the same method, I have cured so many patients, that is why I am sharing it, then you will definitely succeed. Then it is your duty as a human, good human being, that you should share these videos with each and every homeopath on this globe, so that those homeopaths can also prescribe the medicine with certainty. Only by doing this thing, homeopathy will become a dependable science, which is not just now. Thanks for watching the video. Instead of shaking hands with other people, please adopt the gesture of folding hands. Welcome people by folding hands. This is a very good gesture. It makes you humble, and only the humble people are liable to receive the knowledge. So it is in your interest. Thank you very much.